Social intelligence is knowing what to speak, when to speak, and who to speak to, but more importantly, knowing what not to speak, when to keep quiet, and who not to speak to. Unfortunately, majority of guys absolutely lack this basic skill and either go blank while talking to women or end up saying things that rub them the wrong way and highlighting all chances of ever building attraction. That's why today, in this video, I will teach you how to be socially intelligent so that you never get into these embarrassing situations ever in your life. So, like and subscribe right away and let's begin. Firstly, knowing what to speak is the point where folks get totally lost. They have a crush on a girl or find a woman attractive and they just want to talk, but don't know what to talk about or how to even approach her. And all that leads to either them going blank mid-conversation or appearing creepy right from the very beginning. Now, the good news is that this basic problem can be fixed very easily by just two things. First is knowing the art of holding an objective-oriented conversation. Remember that you need to approach her with a clear goal in mind of what you want to get out of the conversation. Do you want to get her phone number? Do you want to introduce yourself? Or do you just want to engage in a flirty small talk? Make that clear first and then plan out your opening of how you can naturally approach her without making it seem like you are chasing her. Now, I've covered all of that in my video on the smooth intro blueprint, and if you haven't seen that already, then just go ahead and watch that after this one because it will teach you exactly how to approach women properly. Now, the second thing you want to know is the concept of directing a conversation from one topic to another so that you never run out of things to talk about or face those awkward silences when you start interacting with her. And again, I've covered all of that in a separate video on conversation avenues. Watching that video will teach you how to keep a conversation going with a girl. Now, all of this ties into knowing when to speak. Learning the art of directing a conversation lets you develop a sense of when to close a topic and when to open another one. You need to have an idea of when to talk about stuff like pop culture and college gossips and exactly when to direct that towards talking about her interests. Remember that if you stick to one topic for far too long, you risk the chance of the conversation getting too boring. So, you need to know when to start different topics and tie it all together. Again, it's all covered on my video on the conversation avenues, so click on the I button above to watch that once you have finished with this one. Now, for knowing who to talk to, you need to use your own common sense and judge whether the girl looks approachable or not. Like, is she wearing an engagement ring, or does it look like she's with her boyfriend? Or if you're, let's say, in a bar, then is she looking too drunk to talk to, or is she giving off those don't talk to me vibes? And you can also judge whether she is forcing a don't talk to me face or is she really in a bad mood. And if she is forcing that mean girl look, then it's a clear sign that she wants to talk to someone, but all the other guys who have tried talking to her before you did a very bad job and just ruined her mood. What you can do in that case is to approach her in a fun way and start off with a silly joke about the face she is making to see where that goes. For example, you can say something like, ma'am, the bathroom is that way. And then she goes like, why do you say that? Then simply call her out on her bullshit and say, well, yeah, because you seriously are looking constipated from the face you are making. Just don't try to force that mean girl look. It's really weird. And then she goes all defensive trying to explain herself like, nah, it's not like that and blah blah blah. Remember to be funny and joking about it instead of serious and scolding. Now for the most important part of this video. Knowing what not to talk, when to keep quiet, and whom not to talk to. Firstly, don't talk about sensitive topics like politics or joke about things like religion or even try to be dank until and unless you know for a fact that she won't be offended by it. Moreover, you don't want to talk about highly intellectual things like right-wing or left-wing ideologies, philosophy, communism versus capitalism, physics, and all the intellectual stuff like that until and unless you are in a library talking to one of those nerdy girls who tend to get swayed by a show of intellectualism. And even then, you want to make that same old boring intellectual conversation a bit fun by mixing a touch of humor in it. Like, instead of using bookish words, you can add in common slangs like, and then Hitler got the biggest ass kicking of all time. Hope you get the idea. The goal is to appear intelligent, not strictly intellectual. You are having a conversation and not giving a lecture. Your job is to kill her boredom, not to cause it. Now, if you want to know more about this appearing intelligent thing, then watch my video on how to hack her brain by clicking on the I button above. Now, for knowing when not to speak, you have to use common sense as your guide and read her body language. For example, if the topic of her ex-boyfriend arises during the conversation and she starts looking uncomfortable and icky, then just close that topic right away and switch to something else. And I've already talked about whom not to talk to in the previous section where I told you to look out for things like, is she wearing an engagement ring or does she look too drunk to talk to? Now, I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, then hit the like and subscribe buttons right now and binge watch my channel for more awesome content. And if you want to learn more about the hidden art of psychological seduction, then click on the first link in the description right now, because that link will take you to a free training webinar about tactical attraction, which is the #1 course on psychological seduction that I recommend. So, don't miss out. Visit the first link in the description right now and change your dating life forever.